Mr. Translator?
That's my translator.
It's your son?
Yes, this is my son, CJ. What are all these people doing here, CJ? What are all these people doing? What are they doing?
Weidman, where will you be training for this fight?
Where will I be training?
Yes.
Same place, Garden City, 1 Commercial Avenue. Ray Longo's gym. We're actually going to be co-owning it together coming up. So I guess it's my gym too. And also at Matt Serra's gym, also at Henry Grace's gym.
Well, first things first, I gotta say congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Now that you got the big fight again, the rematch. Now, how you see this one going down?
You know, I expect a war just like I expected in the last one. You know, you hope for a finish. It's just kind of the way I think of every single fight. It helps me train harder. If I train for a finish, you know, then all of a sudden it's a war. You know, you're not going to be in the right place. Your mindset's not going to be in the right place. So,
how did you get involved in the world of MMA?
You know, I started off as a wrestler. I was trying out for the 2008 Olympics. I ended up getting hurt before the trials and kind of wanted to find a way to support my family. I was getting my master's degree at House University, and it was kind of like all these wrestlers are doing good with the. You want to take him? All right, say bye. This is your big day. Here you go. Say bye. Bye. Say bye. Oh, he's the best. All right, there you go. My nanny slash knife wife. All right, so where was I? I'm sorry.
So you started off in wrestling, and you got
injured? Wrestling. Yeah, got injured for the Olympics, and then it was kind of like, you know, I felt like athletically I was, you know, at the peak of my career. You know, I felt like I was athletic and had a lot of potential, and I didn't want it to go to waste. You know, I don't want to just, you know, wake up and I'm 40 and wish I did something that it's too late. So I had to find something that I could, you know, provide for my family doing as far as athletically, and I always kind of felt like I was a fighter at heart, felt like I was meant to do that, and MMA was a way to go.
How many amateur fights you had pretty much before you went into the pro world or the UFC?
0.
Wow.
0.
How much has your life changed since you won the belt, Chris?
I guess it's changed a pretty decent amount. You know, I'm able to get out of the house that got hit by Hurricane Sandy, and I'm able to buy a new house in Dix Hill, still on Long Island, but I'm leaving the South Shore, which is hard for me. And then, so it's going to be nice to be organized. You know, we're kind of clustered up in there, cluttered, and so it's going to be nice to have a house where I actually have, you know, room and, you know, space where I can put stuff. You know, so
it's going to be recognized more now.
Yeah, definitely recognized more. You know, a lot of people come out of the woodwork. People I don't know, you know, have business ideas for me and million stuff like that. So that's stuff I got to kind of be able to kind of get through, because I'm usually just a nice guy. Someone comes with me stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good. They're like, oh, can you do this then? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm in. And next thing I know, I forget about it, and then I'm like obligated to do all these things I forgot about.
Now, say after this big fight, is there anyone specifically on your radar that you would love to get into the octagon with?
Only person right now is Anderson Silva. That's all I'm worried about. After that, we'll take it from there. There's a lot of good guys in the division. There's good guys at 205. Whatever the UFC wants to make happen, and what the fans want to see is I'm down for it.
What's the mentality going into this fight where you're trying not to lose something, where it's the first time you were trying to gain something?
I don't see me not trying to lose something this time. I still feel like I have to gain. Every fight is just a huge step forward. So it's just a lot to gain in every aspect.
You see anything different going into this fight from the last one?
Not really. You know, I think Anderson Silva, I knew he was great. I think he still is great. I'm sure he's going to be extra motivated for this next fight, so I'm prepared for that.
You mentioned you were going to get your master's. What were you studying?
I did get it, phys ed. I got psychology undergrad at Hofstra, and then I got my master's in phys ed. I got my associate's degree too, liberal arts, Nassau Community College.
Just speaking to Anderson a few minutes ago, and asked him about reviewing the tape, and I asked him if he thinks he has you down, if that's pretty much all there is to see about you, and he kind of smiled and said, yeah. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, at first I don't take anything Anderson says in an interview for, you know, the full truth or whatever. He just, you know, says kind of whatever comes to his mind. That doesn't bother me. I have a lot I know I haven't shown in a fight yet. I have a lot of things I do in the gym that I'm still working on to gain the confidence to do in the ring. And for this fight, there could be a lot of new things to see.
Now, if you lose this time, do you feel it kind of undoes the upset? Because a lot of people are looking at it like it was a fluke or he was dropping his hands. And so, like, if you lose here, do you feel that kind of takes away from your upset?
Yeah, I'm not losing here. And I'm not, so that's not sure.
Have you seen the tapes?
Oh yeah, I've seen the tapes. I watched, like the first 2 weeks after the fight, I watched it a lot. Since then, I haven't really watched too many times, but I watched it.
Have you seen anything that you can see in the tapes to make the upset again?
Yes, I mean, I see, obviously, I found a way to beat him last time. I see a lot of ways I can beat him. But I'm very just critical of myself. I felt like, I had a year off last time. I had 2 surgeries back-to-back, Hurricane Sandy. There was a lot of things that were going on behind the scenes that I just know I'm going to be in a lot better place for this next fight.
Are there any other fights?
I got to follow up on something you just said. He said, upset again. And I want to know in your mind, when you hear something like that, what goes through it?
It doesn't, there's a lot of opinions out there. Anderson Silva's been in the game so much longer than me. He's accomplished so much more than I have. He's done a lot of great things for the sport and for the UFC. So he deserves that type of respect where people can't believe that he actually lost the first time and they won't believe that he won't lose the second time.
I also know that you went through a lot before the first fight. You had a long layoff, you had the injury, and then you had the Hurricane Sandy situation. So you were going through a lot. But now you talked about being able to buy another home, being champion, obviously making more money. Seeing this side of it, I asked him about where he is now. He talked about being with his family. That's still the most important thing now as he's gotten older. Winning this fight, and I know guys want to talk about the belt, how important is it to continue to make this kind of money? How motivating a factor is that?
The money is very motivating, there's a lot of pride that goes into just winning fights, but now the money being an aspect that is absolutely huge. It's a way for me to provide for my family, a way for me to set my family up for the future as well. So there's a lot of motivation with that. I came from a background where I never even thought about money, never expected to have much money in my life. I gave up on the fact that I was going to be rich sometime like college probably. I'm like, it ain't happening. I don't see any way it was really happening. And that was fine. I just wanted to be able to live a life comfortably at some point, find a ways to, be comfortable. So to be in the spot I'm at where I can make real money and be able to set myself up early in my life for the future is definitely a huge motivation factor. I mean, a dream that I never even dreamt come true.
And lastly, we all knew of you, well, in this fight, in the first fight, it was the knockout. We saw your hands. What we didn't see, and a lot of people didn't see, or maybe don't really know about you, is your other skills. Are we going to see, have we yet to see the best Chris Weidman?
Yeah, I think so. I think for sure you have to see the best Chris Weidman. I have a lot of good stuff that I practice and haven't really had the opportunity to really demonstrate in the cage yet for everybody to see. I'm so young in the sport, it's just a lot of stuff happening to people I haven't seen. I'm excited for people to start watching.
Do you have other ways? I know this, but do you have other ways to win this fight? And if people think that you only win by knocking me?
Oh yeah. Anderson Silva is known as the knockout artist. I'm known as the wrestling jiu-jitsu guy. So my wrestling and jiu-jitsu is a big way for me to win this next fight too.
For being in there with him, and he's 38, you're still rising in the sport. He's closer to the end of his career. Do you feel you've seen pretty much what you know and prepare for Anderson? Now he says the new Anderson's coming. Realistically, do you think there's many new wrinkles he could bring to the rematch?
He's in there every time he fights. He's had so many fights at this point. Every time he's in there, I think he's as creative as you can be. He's very relaxed. I expect the unexpected, man. I'm always, every time I've always fought, I'm not really too worried about what they're doing. I'm worried about what I'm doing. So honestly, it doesn't matter. I know people are like, now the angry Anderson Silva, the serious Anderson Silva is going to be coming out. If you think that intimidates me or it makes me feel, or it makes me second guess myself at all, this is just not where my mind's at.
Hey Chris, now are you studying any other fights of Silva? Have you watched any other fights from him that you're studying to get ready for this fight?
Not really. No, I haven't really watched any of his fights. Before this last one, I watched a couple of them, but not really in depth. Just kind of get an idea of what he does, and then train what I do good. My coaches watch a lot of the tape and stuff like that. My coaches study it more than me, and they train me the way they want to train me and tell me what they want me to do, and that's it.
Who will you be sparring with, training with, getting ready for this fight?
Who did I spend time sparring with? A lot of different guys. We had some Olympic level boxers, kickboxers. We had my man John Volante's in the UFC. He's always my main training partner. Wonder Boy Townsend we brought in, who has a lot of flashy kicks, more of a karate style, and very creative. We brought him in for that. I think that was it. And we had some good jiu-jitsu guys, some guys that good at throwing up triangles, some longer guys. We had guys like that too.
What is a couple last words for your fans worldwide, in Poland, everywhere? A couple last
From
words.
Poland?
Yes, sir. Represent.
I appreciate all the support. This next fight is going to be huge. Could be one of the biggest fights in UFC history, and I'm excited to be able to be in an environment like that to really shine and showcase my skills.
Chris, you mentioned something